So, with the Gold Cup in the rearview, it's time for CONCACAF Nations League Division B action with Guadeloupe. So as we saw in the last episode, we've been drawn in a group with Guatemala, St. Kitts and Nevis and St. Lucia, and I'm fairly optimistic of our chances of getting through. After all, in the last episode, we beat Haiti, ranked 84th, and took points off 65th ranked Jamaica. So with no team in our nations group ranked in the world top 100, I think we got a pretty good chance of challenging for top spot and promotion. So there are 6 matches to be played all across the autumn and winter international windows of 2023, so let's get straight to it. We're not going to do live comms for all 6 matches, so we'll start with a brief roundup of the first 3 games, starting with the home game against Guatemala, and how frustrating was that? You can see from the stats, we absolutely dominated. We hardly gave Guatemala a sniff, but it ended up being 0-0, and was made even worse by the fact that Coco had a chance to win it for us with this penalty, but it was saved and we couldn't score off the rebound. Definitely a case of points dropped. That made it 4 consecutive games without a goal as we faced St. Kitts and Nevis, but it was San Maximin who would finally end our collective goal-scoring drought, though we did have to sweat out a VAR review on this one. VAR did come into play again following this trip in the area. The pitch side monitor was consulted and the penalty was given. Phaeton took over from Coco with the penalty taking duties, and this time we tucked it away. And Phaeton would be on the score sheet again moments later, tapping home after a blocked header. Time for one more before half time, you say? Well, I should, Coco. A free kick from David finally got us a legitimate 5th goal, and the 6th and final goal of the evening was headed in by Casimir, although, again, for some reason we needed a VAR review, and that is how you end a goal-scoring drought. And goals continued to come in our next match away to St. Lucia, though we did have to wait until first half stoppage time for David's opener. In the second half, though, it was always going to be a matter of how many would we score, as both David and Morgan Saint-Maximin scored hat-tricks. St. Lucia did get a single consolation goal, but again, another massive win for us. So at the halfway stage, the group looks like this, pretty much as expected, us and Guatemala neck and neck at the top. And for match day 4, we're heading over to Ciudad de Guatemala. In fact, let's head over there right now. This is a crucial game, basically. If we can win this, that's going to put us in an absolutely fantastic position to take control of the group, especially, St. Kitts and Nevis and St. Lucia. They're going to be, hopefully, easy pickings. Don't want to speak too soon or curse myself in the final game. A draw might work in our favour as well, but definitely we want to avoid defeat here. So let's see, this is our biggest game since the Gold Cup, since that Jamaica game in the Gold Cup, and we've started with an early highlight here. Coco has got the ball, he brings it round nicely, Gravillon, good, we're playing some good ball here. Ooh, almost comes to Casimir, but in the end goes through to the goalkeeper. Alright, we're straight back on the attack. Casimir looking to whip the cross into David. David heads just over. Great opening couple of minutes from us, and the highlights keep on coming. We haven't even got 4 minutes on the clock yet, and it's our 3rd highlight of the match. Are we going to get our 3rd chance off here? Solve it. Nice ball out to Folkier on the flank. Saint-Maximin with the shot. Ooh, this is a very fiery start from us. We just got to hope we can keep it up. Now, believe me when I say this is already more exciting than the first match we had with Guatemala. Although we had plenty of chances and we dominated, there was nothing as clear-cut as we've seen here. And here we've got David through. Oh, we just lacked that bit of pace to get away from the defenders there. If he could have got clear of those 2 defenders, he would have rounded the keeper, surely, and beaten him easily. But here we go, it's David again. He's here with the free kick. He's got out of his goal drought as well, scored some good goals in those last couple of games. Shot here, though, is too close to the goalkeeper. I suppose there's something to be said for, some of the smaller Caribbean islands being, easy opponents when it comes to racking up a bit of a score. But, Guatemala, different proposition, and they are on the break here. Oh no, they've got through. Rubin has scored. Rubin. Absolute disaster, especially considering how much we've dominated so far in this first half. That's only their 2nd shot on target. We've had 5, but we go in a goal down at half time. So a few choice words in the dressing room there. I told them that we've got to be much better, much more clinical, and get a goal in this second half. So far, though, we got up to the hour mark and nothing. Oh, wait, here we go. Ball comes out to Casimir. He's got Folkier in support. Solvet's up there as well. Come on, get the shot off. Oh, it's clipped the crossbar. It's just not our night. Right, David, Saint-Maximin, not having great games tonight despite their exploits, or maybe because of their exploits in the previous game against St. Lucia. So we brought on Phaeton and Romil in that forward and shadow striker position. So hopefully they are indeed going to make the difference. There's only 20 minutes left. We need an equaliser at the very least. Only 8 minutes to go. And there's, it's not forthcoming, that equaliser. We haven't had a decent chance yet. Maybe we're going to get one here, or maybe we're going to find ourselves with an impossible mountain to climb. Thankfully, Guatemala got a bit too excited there and shot over, but I think we're going to have to make those tactical changes. Now, we're already on an attacking mentality. I thought we'd just go for it in this game. Maybe we should have been a little bit more cautious, but okay. The usual things. We're going to go more direct. We've already got a high tempo. We want to start shooting on sight. And then what else are we going to do? I think we need to get the goalkeeper launching it long. And we need to push up that defensive line a bit. Give them no space. Just try and get everything forward. I'm also going to bring this youngster, Archimede, on the right wing. I mean, he's not as good a player as Coco, but he's got a bit of pace. He's got fresh legs. Hopefully he can cause a bit of havoc. He's only 19. I gave him his debut earlier in the campaign after the Gold Cup. Here we go. It's an in-swinging corner. We can't get ahead on it, but it's come back out to Folkier. And, oh, Phaeton heads over from point-blank range. It's just not happening, is it? We get into 4. I can't believe we've lost that game. I can't believe there's 2 games against Guatemala. We weren't able to score a single goal. Oh, but yeah, for us to get out of this now, I mean, you see there, it says we were unlucky in defeat, but that doesn't matter. It's the defeat that matters. So that puts us 3 points behind Guatemala, 2 games left. And of course, we both play those bottom 2 teams in the group, St. Lucia and St. Kitts and Nevis. So we have to rely on one of them pulling off a miracle on our behalf and beating Guatemala for us to stand any chance of getting top spot. And I just don't see that happening. All right, so we've jumped ahead to the final day of this Nations League campaign. We're at home to St. Lucia, Guatemala away to St. Kitts and Nevis. And as you can see here, we yet again put 6 goals past one of our fellow Caribbean islands, beating St. Kitts and Nevis 6-1. And St. Lucia, well, they made a fight of it. They did lose. Guatemala got the win. Again, it was Rubio Rubin with the goal. So a 1-0 win for Guatemala, leaving the table looking like this. So we're going to have to win against St. Lucia today. We're going to have to hope that already relegated St. Kitts and Nevis somehow pull out a miracle, though they are at home against Guatemala. So who knows? Anyway, let's go to the match and see how we do. All right, so the teams are out. It's time for the miracle. If it's going to happen, well... Who knows? Stranger things have happened in Football Manager for me over the years, but it's just that, yeah, I just don't think Guatemala are going to lose. If it was like a draw in that game would be enough for us to leapfrog them, I might be a little bit more optimistic. It could go to a turgid 0-0 and we get the win here. But yeah, St. Kitts and Nevis, who haven't won a game yet, expecting them to win this one, that's a big ask. But anyway, can we get an early goal here from David? Not quite. But we see there Guatemala have just taken the lead. Well, just taken the lead. It seems they scored on 4 minutes. They scored again on 11 minutes. Come on. Well, let's at least get a goal here to make things interesting for ourselves. We should be able to beat St. Lucia quite handily. We did it away already. And there we go. Casimir finally gets us on the score sheet. All right, late in the first half here, we're approaching 40 minutes. Casimir plays it back into the middle. Casimir again. David, we get the goal. All right, that's good. Second goal gives us that all-important cushion going into the second half. If we can make it 3 here, even better. Well, the news is early in the second half, St. Kitts and Nevis have pulled 1 back, so they're only 3-1 behind. They just need to score 3 more to let us top the group. All right, so been a quiet second half for us. I guess the players know what's going on in the Guatemala game. They know that there's nothing to fight for here, really. St. Lucia, they're locked into 3rd place. They've avoided relegation, so neither side has much to play for at this point. Can we add a 4th goal here, though? Fulquier, is he going to get the cross in? He does. David tucks it away. All right on 90 minutes, we got a corner. Is this going to be goal number 5? We've consistently scored 6 against our Saint opponents, St. Lucia, St. Kitts and Nevis. So are we going to somehow get 2 more goals in stoppage time here? Probably not, but we can dream. Here we go. Coco nearly makes it 5. There we are. As we get into stoppage time, Guatemala have just made sure of things. Not that it was in much doubt. They're now 4-1 up against St. Kitts and Nevis. So the result here is immaterial in that sense. It's not going to be enough to help us top the group, but maybe that's for the better if we're philosophical about it. It gives us time to find some young talents coming through in the French leagues who can qualify for Guadeloupe nationality. So there you go, finishes 4-0 to us. We couldn't keep up that pattern of scoring 6 against the non-Guatemala opponents. But yeah, we see over here Guatemala would eventually win 4-1 in their game. So they top the group. We stay in Division B for another round of the Nations League. One good bit of news is that 2nd place in the group does qualify us for the Gold Cup playoff in 2025, so we've got that to look forward to. Yeah, and we see here that's going to be penciled in for the summer of 2025. I guess that means 2024 is probably going to be lots of friendlies because we won't be taking part in any World Cup qualifying or anything like that. So probably the next time I see you for an episode with Guadeloupe, we're going to have fast forwarded about 18 months or so, and we'll have another crack at the Gold Cup. Make sure you've liked the video and you're subscribed to the channel so you don't miss it.